So I know a lot of English words, but I can never remember them when I need them during a conversation. This is actually a topic that I've talked about a lot before, but I know that many of you do not watch my older videos, so we're making a new one. Learning about something just one time is completely different from being able to actually use something. I know how to make good fried chicken. However, the last time I made fried chicken was a long time ago, so if I tried to make it right now, it probably wouldn't be very good. Knowing something does not guarantee that you will be able to do it well. To do something well, you need to practice it often. To be able to use a word in conversation, you need to practice using that word often. So if you have this problem, the number one thing that you need to do is have English conversations every day, or speak to yourself in English every day. And I know there are plenty of people who want to lie to themselves, and they want to say that it's not possible for them to find an English partner. Well, if you are one of those people and you want to keep lying to yourself, here are some things that you can do even if you don't have a speaking partner. And even if you do have a speaking partner, I still recommend doing these things because the more often you practice, the better. Number 1, make a list of all of the words that you often forget during conversations. Then, write 3 useful sentences with each word. When I say useful sentences, I mean that you should write the type of sentences that you might actually need to use in a conversation. So if you have 20 words that you often forget, now you have written 60 sentences. Now, read those sentences out loud, speaking, for 5 to 10 minutes every day. After 1 week, create a new list of 20 words and write 60 more sentences. Read those sentences out loud, speaking, for 5 to 10 minutes every day. But don't forget to also go back and spend a few minutes reviewing the old sentences as well. 2. Every time you learn a new word, create a flashcard. A flashcard is just a small paper card. You write the English word on the front and the meaning or the translation on the back. There are also apps that you can use if you would prefer to do this on your phone. Every day, at the same time, spend 5 to 15 minutes reviewing your flashcards. Read the English word out loud, speaking, and check to see if you can remember what it means. If you can remember what it means, go on to the next card. If you can't remember what it means, just check on the back of the card. After you become very comfortable with one word, you can remove that card so that you can focus on the other words that you are not yet so comfortable with. However, you should not just throw that card away, because you should always come back and review the older cards at least once per week also. And you can also create flashcards for full sentences, not just for individual words. You could write a situation on the front, and on the back, the thing that you would say in that situation. For example, on the front, it might say, "Someone is playing music very loudly." And on the back, you could write, "Could you please turn your music down a bit?" 3. If you can't remember a word during a conversation, just take a moment to search your mind for the word. This is a completely normal thing to do. Some of the smartest people that I know often have long pauses in the middle of their sentences because they like to choose the most appropriate word for that sentence. And sometimes it takes a moment to find the most appropriate word. If it's okay for a native English speaker to stop for 15 seconds to search for the appropriate word, it's okay for you, an English learner, to do the same thing. So if you think that you know the word, but you just need to think for a moment, just say that. Tell the other person, just one moment, I think I know the word, I just need to think for a moment. And maybe you can't think of the word. If that happens, that's fine. Just relax and say, oh, sorry, actually, I can't remember it. And finally, be patient. Lots of people who are learning English don't actually practice speaking very often, and they don't understand that it takes a lot of time and a lot of practice to actually get good at speaking. If you have used a word less than 10 times in your life, you shouldn't expect to be able to use it really easily. It's completely normal to not be able to think of the correct word, or to have the correct word but not be able to use it correctly. This is completely normal. You just need to keep practicing. If you speak English every day at work, you probably won't need to review words like manager or customer because you're already using them every day. You're not going to forget them. However, if you aren't using those words every day, you will need to create opportunities to force yourself to use those words more often. And again, you can do this by creating flashcards, reviewing your flashcards every day, writing sentences with new words, reading those sentences every day, and speaking those sentences out loud every day. So yeah, that's my basic advice for what to do if you can't remember words during conversations.